probably one of the most important issues that the world is talking about right now, and certainly important for growth in Canada, is the Keystone Pipeline. Talk to us about this. First, a status check. When was the last time you spoke with President Obama about this? Where are you in terms of efforts to win Washington's approval for the build-out?
Well, I've been in communication with President Obama very regularly on this, and ultimately the decision rests with the administration. I'll say, Maria, what I've said before. You know, the logic behind this project is simply overwhelming. Economically, in the United States alone, we're talking about some 40,000 jobs over the course of the project, direct, indirect, induced. On the energy security side, we're talking about this being part of a growing possibility of not just Canada but North America as a whole being energy self-sufficient, displacing the need for imports of oil from politically unstable places that are often in political conflict with the United States. And environmentally, you know, despite the challenges that everything in the oil and gas industry does represent environmentally, the fact of the matter is, as the State Department itself says, the environmental impacts of the Keystone Pipeline are negligible. In fact, it will displace a crude that in many cases comes from not just higher emitting sources, as higher emitting sources of oil, but frankly from places where the environmental standards of production are very poor. So, look, I think, as I say, the logic here is overwhelming. The project, and I remain an optimist that, notwithstanding politics, that when something is so clearly in everybody's interest, including our interest as Canadians, but the national interest of the United States, I'm of the view that it has to be approved, and therefore I'm of the view that whatever the obstacles are, all of us, and I think business, governments who support it, all the governments along the pipeline route, the business community on both sides of the border, much of the labor union movement that supports it. My view is that you don't take no for an answer. We haven't had that, but if we were to get that, that won't be final. This won't be final till it's approved, and we will keep pushing forward.